I'm here at the NAMM Show 2015 with Jeff Fogerty. Okay, Jeff might be known as a son of Tom and nephew of John. Jeff, how are you doing, man?
I'm doing great, man. Good to see you again.
Good to see you. Yeah. So we were talking before the camera was on regarding a project you have with your father before he died.
Right. Yeah. So I was last year I was working on a rock record, and so I was looking for a little MXR pedal that my dad gave me way back in 1980 or something. So I was going through stores looking through boxes, and I found a box that said Guitar Player magazines, and I'm like, what am I doing with this? So I opened the box, and there's all the master tapes of the last album I was working on with my dad in 1990 before he died.
But you told me they were stolen.
We thought they were stolen. I worked in a recording studio called Starlight Sound in Richmond, and the studio was robbed. So we thought all the tapes were stolen. So the copies, the slaves were stolen, but I still have the masters except for 2. So I have most of the record. So we've now baked the tapes and transferred into Pro Tools. So now I can work with all the artists around the world. So basically it was sort of like a rock and roll symphony, a bunch of musical pieces. And we were going to build a rock and roll orchestra with all my dad's friends from the Bay Area. The guys from the Grateful Dead, Bonnie Raitt, Narada Michael Wallen, Robert Cray, the guys from Tower of Power, all his friends that he's known all his life, because my dad was really sick at that point. So we got all the basics done, and then my dad took a turn for the worst and passed away. So we didn't know where the tapes were, and I just found them in March or something. So they've now been baked, put into Pro Tools, and now we can kind of finish the project. So the idea was to get all these other players on it. So unfortunately, Merle Saunders, who wanted to do it, passed away. Jerry Garcia, who wanted to do it, passed away. So I'm now going to approach all these artists again, and some new artists that I know over the years, to get them to play on it. And then also, I'm not trying to get rich on this record. I just want to get the music out. So all the money is going to be donated to either the Elton John AIDS Foundation or the Red Foundation of Bono, because my dad passed away of AIDS. So I'm trying to give back as much as I can.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah. So I'm excited because now I have the material. You know what I mean? And it's in Pro Tools now. So if somebody wants to do it and they live in Atlanta or New York or New Zealand, I can just send them the files and they can work on it, which is great.
And you are going to be playing what?
I played the basic stuff, so some piano and guitar. But we listened to the song and said, this needs a slide guitar. Of course, Bonnie Raitt. This needs a solo. That's Carlos. So we sort of pick and choose what's going to do. But I play the basic guitar, rhythm guitar, piano, and a little bit of lead guitar. But I want to get the players that are awesome to play on it.
So this will be the first material after your dad passed away?
Yeah, well, it's the last record he would ever make.
Yeah.
It's the first material with him that'll ever be released, because we thought the tapes were stolen. So it's kind of cool that I'll be able to have a new record with my dad, and then all these other players. So I'll get Ben Smith from Heart will play drums, J.D. Blair will play some drums, and I'm going to approach a bunch of other people here. I just ran into Chuck Rainey, who played with my dad on the Merle Saunders record in 1973. So I'm going to get him on it. Now, of course, I'll get George Clinton on it, and a bunch of people. Yeah, it'll be very cool. So I'm also working on a rock record. And that's how this started. I was working on a rock record and looking for the pedal. And then I found that. I'm like, oh, I got all this material to work on. So
and how many songs?
On the record with my dad, there are 13, I think.
Okay.
13.
Yeah. Enough for an album.
Yeah, enough for an album. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. And then for my rock record, I got about 20. And then I'm also working on like this sort of a DJ dance techno record. So cool DJ beats, but with big 9-inch nail guitars and solos. Yeah. I got 35 of those tracks. Because the DJs will just play parts of it, you know what I mean? They won't play all 5 minutes. They'll just groove it into their set. So I got 100 things to work on. But it's great. It's better than having zero, right? Yeah.
Oh, John is not going to be...
No, unfortunately, John won't be a part of it. He kind of does his own thing. I will approach him at some point when I get the thing farther along and ask him, but I'm pretty sure he won't do it. He kind of doesn't do anything but his own career. But I am going to get Doug and Stu on it somehow, bass player and drummer for Creedence.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Nice.
Yeah. And once I get back from this, that's working on the Bay Area Coalition of Musicians, which is the guys from Santana, the guys from Tower of Power, all those guys that knew my dad. So I'm sure they'll want to do it, and it's not like it's not a record for me to get famous or make a bunch of money. It's just, wow, we found the material. Let's get it out before I get hit by a bus.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Totally.
Yeah.
Okay, man. Thank you very much.
Cool.
Great news. Okay, we started the NAMM show with here at the Bartolini.
booth. Yeah, I signed up with Bartolini as a guitar endorsement. So here's Phil from Bartolini. He signed me up. There's Clyde over there, owner of Bartolini, and my good friend Ralph Novak, who makes the Novak's guitars. I've known him since I was 14 years old. That's a long time ago. And he built my first guitar with me with Bartolini's when Bill was still doing it.
Oh.
So, full circle. Yep.
Thank you for the interview.
Yes, no problem. Thank you. All right, we'll talk again.